Nice lot, right? But yeah, they just. But I already. So people, I know. They're not switching down there? Yeah. Oh, gotcha. And Peyton was. It's not Aaron's dog. And there's Aaron, I'm not sure. Aaron was gonna take care of it, pay for everything. And got rid of it now. And yeah. That's what keeps it alive. I know they're not switching down there. Yeah, sure. And Peyton was. We don't need to watch that, right? It's just, that's just YouTube live. Okay, I'm muted it, so. I put it on you guys. What's that? Zoom. That's what I'm thinking. Hey, Brian. You want to check? See if we can hear you?
Can you hear me?
Yep. Sure can.
Oh my gosh,
Is that loudest?
we can actually hear them.
It is. Okay. Good, good. Okay, I think we're good. We'll maximize this.
Pass it up, Candy. Oh, yeah.
Bring my.
We get a bunch of feedback. Yeah, we get a bunch of, yeah. Yeah, so make sure if you have anything playing in the background. Yeah, I muted it, so we didn't hear twice the conversation, so. Yeah. All right.
About time for your surgery. Really.
1:30.
Of April. Yeah. No, it's coming up. Yeah.
Probably not staying for her.
How are you?
Okay.
Good.
Great. How are you?
Play a little hoops after the meeting.
What's that?
We'll play a little hoops after the meeting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And they can't get an answer.
Should be here.
These are public works director.
You know, it's really, really make feel that.
Great. Excellent. We want to keep that. Yeah, it was so big. It's just.
I started to see you the other day.
Yeah.
You have any room in your schedule to go into an article about calorie repair?
There's actually one schedule off down here. I'm assuming $60.
Brad, can you hear me all right?
Identify.
Yep, sure can.
Perfect.
Three boards of these.
Yeah.
Nature. They're taking off. I lived in Johnson County for a long time, and they're all over the place. Developers used to play with it, down the street. Every empty lot has a whole drop of that. Yeah, we got back in the day.
Yeah, there is. It's all.
Okay, that's great. Appreciate it. Thanks.
That's why you have to look back in for changes. Yeah, yep, Thursday. They decided 38 degrees was gonna. I know, it was supposed to be like 68 on Thursday.
Yeah.
So 5:35, I'd like to call the meeting to order. Please join me in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, there are no proclamations, so we'll move straight on to public comments. Matt, would you like to come up to the mic? Sure.
Well, other than what the weather looks like, we are getting ready for summer. Even the snows. No, getting ready for farmer's market. Just kind of getting permission from you guys to set up the farmer's market like we have in years past. So we'd be setting up there kind of by the skate park, in that kind of grassy area just to the west of the fishing center. And we just ask you guys permission to do that and we'll sign up along that road again. So that's something you guys would be in favor of.
And when's your first?
We're planning on starting Thursday, May 30th, and then running through September, every Thursday from 4 to 6:30.
I certainly think it's a good idea. I don't know if anybody has any questions or anything.
You know of anybody that's growing stuff or, does a lot of baked goods that would be good at the market? We're always interested in some more vendors too. Encourage people to reach out to me if you know of somebody that would be good to set up too. Other than that, I think we have basically the same vendors as we've had the last few years, which we're not a big enough town to get a ton of vendors. I mean, kind of sustains what it sustains, but anyway, yeah.
Do we need a motion for that or just say it's okay?
Motion.
I would entertain a motion to give permission for the farmer's market to start on May 30th and on what days again? Thursdays? Thursdays from 4 to 6:30. Second. It's been moved and seconded to approve the farmer's market. Any further discussion? If not, on favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passed 5-0.
Thank you.
See you on May 30th. Okay, moving on to the consent agenda. Do the commissioners have any questions on what's listed on the consent agenda?
I do.
Yes.
I just want to, I wanted to correct the wording on my motion for the streetlights. It says explore options for repairing, and my motion was actually just to repair it.
Okay. Then we can get that corrected. Anything else? Or Andy, were you gonna say something?
Yeah, you'll either have to pull that out of consent and accept it as amended minutes, because that's not. Does that make sense?
Yes, so if we just pull that one out and then
Or,
vote on it
or you
separately.
can vote on the consent agenda. You could accept the consent agenda with the amendments made by Commissioner Shepherd.
Say that again, I just completely.
Vote to approve the consent agenda with the amendments made by Commissioner Shepherd.
Any other questions from what's under there? No, I entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda and include the corrections indicated by Commissioner Shepherd to the last meeting minutes.
I'll second.
So moving in second, any further discussion? Not, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed 5-0. Andy, you're up next. To discuss the first Street corridor.
With that being said, I think the first part of the memo that we put in the packet would be probably incorrect. That there was no motion to move forward with the replacement of that intersection. I had conversations with, Mr. Holt, Mr. Shepherd, who pointed that out to me, so. I don't want to insinuate that we did take an action that way, we just didn't. Following the meeting last week, we got an email from Leroy King from the Department of Transportation, which is included in the packet. And based on that, Dawn and Brad and I had some conversations, and I basically wanted to put some information in front of the commission as early as possible. Based on the email we received from Leroy King, it would appear that any attempts to repair that intersection using the current components is not going to be, we would need a permit to repair, and we're not going to get one from the department. So there are some other options in that memory. So unless there's any other questions, that's kind of where we're at. I got volunteered to speak because Brad's confident that he's on Zoom, so he might be able to answer some of these questions if you have.
I was, I've done some looking on this, and I'm under the impression that we do not need a permit to just replace a pole.
Brad, did you want to respond to that?
That is something that we would, can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
That is something that we would definitely have to look into. I can't say a definite yes or no on that. I had not looked into that avenue of it yet, so I can't say one way or another to be sure, but it's something that we would have to look into on that part of it.
What
Yes,
is it that we would need to look into, I guess? Whether
Sure or not, whether we need a permit or not. Yeah, we would figure that out. I don't know that for sure. I don't know that we do. I don't know that we don't. So I just feel more comfortable just getting to the bottom of it. And it's as simple as just asking questions is all.
Okay, so are we able to go ahead and find this out and then get a bid for a pole, and maybe even contact a company if you think that that's the best case, find out about repairing wires and whatnot, and start moving forward on this?
Yeah, that is something that we could do.
I mean, the first paragraph in Leroy's email says that it should be noted that due to the advanced age of all current signal components, the reuse/repair of these is not feasible. I mean,
I think it's not feasible for them to do it, but with us doing it, it's just like repairing a pole or repairing some of our own infrastructure. We're not changing anything. All we're doing is fixing what is ours already. And quite honestly, I think that the city's been putting this off for about 7 years, fighting KDOT, whether we're going to pay for it or if they're going to pay for it. And we already received money from insurance to replace this pole, which we should have done it 7 years ago. Why that never got done, I have no idea. But yes, and I've talked to several other city administrators, and it's well within our means to just repair the pole and fix it. And I even talked to our old city administrator about this before she left, and yes, it's within the commission's decision to repair this pole, and the commission has already approved for us to repair this pole. So why we're dragging our feet at doing this, I feel like I'm putting together a puzzle and I don't have all the pieces. So we've already approved it to repair the pole, and like Brad said in the last meeting, whatever way the commission decides to go, he's going to hit the ground running. And it's been 2 weeks and we've got nothing. So whatever's tying Brad up is what we need. We need to make sure that that Brad's able to do his job and that we can move forward on this.
We voted to fix the. We said in your motion that Evans seconded, nothing was said about the intersection. And as I read Leon's things, it's all about the pool and the intersection, the road diet. The road diet has been brought up so much. They're even talking about a booster light now. I want to hear about what we voted on, which is the light, the pole.
And that will be easy enough for Brad to find out. I mean,
Then why are we talking about, and I'm not chastising anyone. I'm not being rude. I'm just asking a question. Why are we talking about the road diet all over again when we decided to drop it?
we're not.
Well, I've heard that all I've heard about is replacing the light at an astronomical expense. That was never brought up. It shouldn't be brought up. And it had nothing to do with my motion. And Mr. Middendorf even brought up raising taxes. I would like to say that that was no part of my motion. My motion is to repair our lights. And that's what the commission has approved. And we need to move forward with that plan.
Agreed.
So my suggestion is if we can leave this as old business for the meeting and we could have more information for you at that point.
Maybe Brad can come back.
Sure, we don't need permission
Right.
to solicit bids. We just need the city's approval. It's not a budgeted item this year. The spending authority over 5,000. We need commission approval on that, but we can sure put together something.
So we've got another pole at the southeast corner. It's got a rust hole in the bottom of it. And I hate to think how many more years it'll take for that to blow over like the first pole blew over. And the other poles aren't in any better shape either. They're all rusty. So
I would
fix something that's going to fail.
I would disagree with
I
that.
want to be liable for it.
I would disagree with that. But I do think that we definitely can get one pole. You got to start with this somewhere, and just saying that we're going to have to spend $800,000 for a new intersection. I'm not going to buy that. We can start with replacing the pole that blew over. And next year, if we need to replace another pole, we'll figure out how to do another one. And the year after that, we'll do another one. But going straight to spending $800,000, I'm not going to accept that. It's well within our means to just do this a little bit at a time. The bidding process that it's going to take to even draw up the plans for a new light is going to cost more than it is to just repair our existing lights.
And like,
So-
like I said, we will find out. I mean, everything, I do know this, that everything that has to be done at the intersection has to be done with a permit. And if KDOT gives us a permit, then it's a different story. But if they say no on a permit, then
I disagree. I disagree with the permit. Have you researched this? Or what, do you have anything in writing saying that we cannot set a pole?
That's the discussion I'm having with Brad as far as in the work that's done with that at that intersection or any intersection has to be done with a permit. I mean, this is under KDOT's control, not mine. So if Brad puts in for a permit to put up a new pole and they say absolutely, then that's a different discussion. So Brad, were you about to say something?
Where we were getting where we were going to be allowed to replace that was we have that in a lot of emails. Leroy Kane alluded to it in his last email. Now I got extensive emails from Michael Hageman at times that they were adamant that we could not reuse those poles at First in Oregon. And that's where I was getting that from. So that's where when Andy, Don, and I got together about the memo, that's where that information was coming from. If more information has come to light and we need to get to the bottom of it, that I have no problem with that.
Well, like I've said, I've talked to several city administrators, including Becky Berger when she was still here, and it is within our capabilities to replace the pole without a permit. And if the commission decides it, then we should be able to do it. And it happens all over America all the time. People run into poles, they go to the yard and they fix it just like everybody does. So I feel like we're dragging our feet on this, and we've dragged our feet for 7 years on this. We need to order a pole, and it's a minimal charge, and just fix our existing lights, and it needs to happen immediately.
Anything else?
So what is our plan? Are we expecting? I want to make it clear of what we're expecting for next meeting on information on this. Are we going to be looking for a bid for a pole and everything to fix this? And do we need to make a motion to do this, or what do we need to do?
So we'll find out this week whether we need a permit. If we don't need a permit, then we can solicit bids.
KDOT's gonna say, no, they won't give us.
If we need a permit, that's what Brad's going to look into. We can do it without a permit, then we don't need a permit. So, like I said, if we can please leave this for home business, we can solicit bids without the commission's approval. We just can't accept it. So
Okay.
we can have something ready by the next meeting.
That's perfect. Thank you very much.
Brad, you're up next for the Natchez repairs.
Yeah, the Natchez repairs, we had found out, there's always been some question as to what roads out by Walmart belong to the city. There's always some question about Hopi Drive, 23rd Street, Natchez. We had found out Natchez Street, that it's between Hopi Drive and the highway, is in very poor condition. There's a lot of potholes there. The concrete is just completely deteriorated there. We have found out that is actually under the city's control, and the street is so bad at this point that we didn't have enough asphalt to fix the potholes, so we had to put some rock in there temporarily until we could find out what we were doing with what we're going to do with the street. I had Brad Rosenberger go out there and look at the street and kind of get us a bid together of what it would take to fix the bad section of that road. And I don't have the exact number in front of me, but I believe that number comes out to just over $43,000. I would recommend that we go ahead, and I want to reallocate some of the money that I have in our CIP this year for the 1100 block of Kansas to Natchez, just due to the fact that it's, this is a very highly visible and very a lot of traffic on this road, and we really need to do something with it. And I would be comfortable, I would recommend anyway, repairing that road.
Brad, is this monies that could possibly be going towards our streetlight repair if need be?
The 43,000?
Yes, or is that strictly out of roads?
Yeah, that's just strictly out of roads there.
Okay, I just want to make sure. Thank you.
Okay, if that's the case, then I'll approve the quote from I make a motion to approve the quote from V&J. No, how about J&B Contractors LLC in the amount of $43,144.70 to repair Natchez Street.
Is there a second?
I'll say it.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion? Don?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion passed 5-0. Don, did you want to speak about the employee benefits?
What a difference in it.
Oh,
I do. When we had open last week or last meeting, the commission approved the $1,500 towards HSAs. We discovered during open enrollment that we had 2 employees that did not qualify due to IRS guidelines. However, they will qualify for FSA, which we do also offer. I'm just requesting that I be able to put the 1,500 into FSA for those two employees to get the same benefits.
Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve a $1,500 contribution to an FSA for each of the two employees not eligible for the HSA.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Any further discussion?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion passed 5-0. Under the communications, the number one, the accounts payable, that's just kind of FYI, so we know where we're spending our money. The second one, the Queen Dog Park letter, it's just a letter that was written in support of building a dog park here in town. I know Stacy Jasper's talked about that before, on it to be something nice to have, so it's just somebody expressing their opinion. The Blue Moon Tea Room, ribbon cutting is April 2nd at 9:30. I think that's a Tuesday maybe. So if anybody wanted to show up about that, if you're on Facebook, you can see all people, all kinds of excited about it. So, the KCC information, that was just another, that was a grant that if I remember correctly, Brad had already been aware of, and it's something that can help update the actual street light or stoplights just with more efficient lighting, right? It's not a major grant, correct, Brad?
Yeah, that appears to be correct.
And then did you want to say anything about the treatment plant inspection?
The treatment plant inspection went really well. KDHE was out there with Dominic and Bruce. Everything went really well. The only thing that we're going to have to do is start taking some pH testing out there. We're going to have to get certified for that. That shouldn't be a big deal. But other than that, everything went pretty well with that KDHE inspection.
Any questions from the commissioners? Okay, if not, we'll move on to executive session. So I'll make a motion that the city commission recess into executive session in the conference room for a period of 10 minutes to discuss matters regarding an issue of potential city personnel. Justification for closing the meeting is to discuss personnel matters of non-elected personnel. The opening meeting will resume at 6:08 p.m. in the commission chambers and to include commissioners and city attorney.
Second.
Move to second for discussion.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
I'd like to make a motion at 6:10, the city commission is called back into open meeting. The commission took no binding action during executive session. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Moved in second, you guys are in, we came back into the meeting. Don?
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion passed 5-0.
I would make a motion to have employees Brad Scott, Stacy Jasper in order to hire their summer help and be able to terminate their hirees. Also,
I'll second that.
It's been moved in second to give both Stacy and Brad the ability to hire and fire summer help. Is there any further discussion? If not, Don?
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Motion passed 5-0. Governing body comments. Not much. I did notice one thing in the advertised on Facebook, the Morrill Public Library was having a prom dress. I mean, they had over 100 prom dresses in their conference room that people from the local area could come in and choose a dress for prom, and it was free of charge, which I thought was pretty cool. I just saw that it was today. I don't know if they're gonna do it more often, but that's just kind of a neat thing the community did for some of our people who girls buy one dress and wear it once and that's it. So I thought that's kind of a neat deal. Commissioner Shepherd, anything?
I would just like to say thank you for getting the Zoom going. This call has worked flawlessly and working perfect. So thank you for that.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. Appreciate that. And I owe you some food or something for it. I'm right on the way out of town. Commissioner Mindor?
I attended the ribbon cutting at the new Oak and Willow location, which is where the old Tyson's drugstore is. If you haven't stopped in to look at that building, you need to do it. It's very impressive how they remodeled that place. You won't recognize it.
Commissioner Wilkie?
I would like to thank the fire department for the pancake feed this weekend. Exceptional food. It was very good.
Thank you.
And all the hard work that they did to get that all put together.
On a side note, Patrick, did you have anything to go with the fire truck or changing the brush truck, any of that?
I do have, I actually have a list of things since I haven't been here to discuss with you. I'll let you guys finish, and if I could have your microphone in here for a moment.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Commissioner Hall?
I was just in the fire department and Chief Patrick also.
Okay.
It was delicious. I didn't have supper until 7:30 that night,
Oh, good.
but I did have a big plate full of breakfast. It was so good. Thank you. I think you should do it twice a year. Thank you.
We'll take that into consideration.
Yeah,
It would be great.
except I don't know if I can afford it twice a year.
Okay, Patrick, the floor is yours.
I do apologize for my tardiness last few weeks. There's been a lot of things go on since I was here last, so, thank you, for the compliments on the breakfast. We had a great turnout. It was probably one of the bigger turnouts we've had in several years, so it was great. And then my mom sprayed me the quilt, so she's like, hey, you need to auction this off. Okay, I'm gonna auction it off. But Barb Shockley did win that yesterday. We haven't got it up on Facebook just yet. I have a request to burn inside the city limits again by a Kyle Shockley at 1512 Iowa Street. There's a brush pile and it's been dissed around. I was asking for your permission for that. It's out there kind of south.
Between here and Walmart.
It's between here and Walmart. It is.
Well, between like,
It's-
12 I'm
it's
sorry,
on the-
12th Street. 12th Street's always my like,
Yeah.
because that's where the kids run for a mile, so I'm 12th and Iowa.
It's on North Street, Iowa.
Patrick,
Yes.
Patrick, do you have any problems with this burn?
I do not. I've been by it. It's been dissed around. I don't see, it doesn't look like it'll take very long. With the right.
With that said, I'll make a motion to allow Shockley's to burn their pile with the supervision of the fire department. Does that sound fair enough?
Fair. Yes.
I'll second
Moved and seconded, any further discussion? Not Don?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All
Thank
opposed?
you. Well,
Motion passed 5-0.
sorry.
Okay. That's the one request you get, you're done.
Send out a list.
I did you.
Our first response truck, unit 85. Let's circle back around here in a second. That truck has been in the shop now for over a week. It has officially been found as to what the problem was, why it was overheating. It has a cracked cylinder. There is no definite date as to when the new truck is going to be here. The truck is currently at Sean Babb's shop. He is the one doing the work on it. He is the one who actually tore it apart to see where the problem was actually coming from and has now found it. He has a quote for an engine to go in it and to be replaced. It's a brand new engine, or it's an engine that needs to be replaced. And
Does that have a 454 in it?
yes,
Yeah. That's what I think.
the shipping turnaround on it is 7 days. So if he orders it tomorrow, it'll be here next Tuesday. And then he needs 3 days to put it in. It couldn't have gone down in the worst time, because that was our highest time, so we were managing. The engine itself is $3,750. What Sean's labor is currently, the parts that he has seen he's replaced the distributor cap, new fan clutch, new fan on it so far. And Sean has told me he is estimating on the high side of $8,000 for the engine and labor for a new engine.
8,000 total.
What, yes, 8,000 in total. That would be his labor and engine and everything he's done so far on the truck.
When is the new truck supposed to be here?
Yeah, really.
I don't know how many pancakes that is.
Yeah.
Or Sundays.
That is all of Sundays.
Yes, you will be having twice a year. So I guess, so where's the 8,000 coming from?
We have not budgeted in we don't have $8,000. I don't believe we have a little full $8,000 budgeted into for repairs. If we do, it's gonna blow it all out. We do have some money in our Fund 90 account that we can help put that cost.
Patrick,
Yes, sir.
What's your recommendation on this? Can you get by without the truck until the new one comes in? What do you guys need?
I do not recommend going without the truck. The sole reasoning because it is that time of the year. And even summertime rolls around, we get into a drought. Somebody does what they did just last week and presumably starts fires on 36 highway. We have two trucks that can get off the road, and we currently have 3.
And so if this doesn't get repaired, I mean, that's something that's gonna help.
We never really planned to retire this truck. It's just gonna be retired from being a first response truck with when we get the new truck comes. This truck is planned, I talked to Brad Scott, this truck was planned to go out to the wastewater department on the north end of town. That way, if we have something on the north end of town, we could stop, drop guys off and keep going. That was the entire plan of this truck when we were done. Once the new one arrives, it was never really a plan to get rid of it because it's not worth anything. We know what we have with the truck. We know what repairs have been, what we've done to the truck. We know what could go wrong. Well, now you throw a new engine at it. Well, now we got a viable truck, hopefully, fingers crossed for a while.
How many miles were on this truck? There wasn't very many, if I remember right. I guess I'm just asking, is the transmission gonna go out next? I know it's hard to tell.
It's hard to tell. Right now, we have not seen any issues with the transmission. Everything has been under the,
And do you know is that a short block or a long block that they're putting in there?
yeah, I'm a telephone man.
Well, the reason I'm asking is because if this has been overheated, could be a lot more money expense that needs to go into the headwork, and it could be thousands of dollars
But
more.
that's, well, and that, Brian, as Sean said, that it's everything, is gonna be replaced on the edge. The heads are getting replaced, everything's being replaced on the edge.
Okay, so it's a long block.
Okay, it's a long block. Gotcha.
Well, it'll basically be like a new truck. If you guys use it, it's probably a decent investment. You're not going to be able to buy another one.
No, we won't be able to buy another. There has been some thought of us throwing around of buying a used vehicle. We can get skid units that go in the back of trucks. But you're looking at a 6 to 8 month turnaround on a skid unit. So you can buy a 3/4 ton truck, throw a 250 gallon tank. It's everything on the truck itself. Has the pump, it has the tank, it has the hose. But there's a 6 to 8 month wait for those. So we can go out and buy a $20,000 truck, that a viable truck that we think is viable, and then spend another $10,000 to put a tank into it, but. Or we can put $8,000 into this and we still know what we got. We have local knowledge of working.
So what do you think? If it were you, if it was your truck, what would you do?
If it was my truck, I would replace it. I would repair it. I'm sorry, not replace it. No one will.
Well, we are
You can't
replacing it.
replace for that price.
Right, you can't go out and get a truck for $8,000. That's not happening.
Well, so no brainer.
So I said, my thing is just where does the 8,000 come from? I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. Don, is that a question?
I tell you what, so if I can get your approval to move forward with this, I will find you the funds. In my budget or out of, or a combination of that of my budget and or fund.
No.
Is that fair enough?
Mhm.
Okay.
That being said, when you dip into Fund 90, it will have to be in the.
It's over there.
I couldn't hear what she said. I'm sorry.
She said that if we dipped into the fire department's Fund 90 account, it would be an amended budget.
That's unencumbered cash from previous years,
Did you hear that?
and you do not have budget authority to spend that this year. So if you go to book something, I'm just telling you.
They're just glaring at each other now.
Let's get killed, right?
Yeah, well, it's.
Well, I'll add that we are expecting to be selling our big track hoe, and that's going to be an extra $100,000. That's kind of what I was thinking about using for a stoplight, and I guess if the fire department needs a little bit to get that truck going, I think that would be worth it too. If you guys need that, and I think we can make that work. And that's a worst case scenario. If we have to, we can dip into that.
Worst case scenario, but I don't foresee that happening. I think we can make something happen with it.
Well, let's let you work on it. And
Yeah.
how's that?
Is that a motion?
Sure. I make a motion. What did I don't know.
Make a
how to-
motion to give permission to go ahead with fixing
The
Unit 85.
the unit 85, not to exceed 8,000. No,
I'm the messenger. You guys are the parliamentary procedure.
no, that's the price that I wrote down.
That is the price that was told me. They was on the high. That was what Sean told me would be the high end of the price.
Well,
that's not to exceed it.
Yeah.
Not to exceed 8,000. Okay.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to move forward on repairing engine 85.
Yes.
Any further discussion? Don?
On there,
Uh,
All right.
All opposed? Motion passed 5-0.
Okay. Now, what was on the consent agenda for that, the additional funds for that truck, the $6,800. So we met with Hayes Fire, we went through the specs of the truck from front to back, top to bottom, side to side with it. We missed the utility pins on the side. We didn't miss them, we misjudged the size. So the original truck was ordered with, they were 4-foot long bins. They were only a foot high. That's not feasible for us. So we went ahead, we're 4 foot wide now and 3.5 foot tall on each side. There's also, we added 2 18-inch boxes behind the cab on each side of the truck to add for parts, tools, hoses, fittings and stuff like that. There's also one other thing that was added was a pre-connect cross lay on the top of the, lays on the top of the tank. It's an 1.5 inch cross lay, sits on the top. It's already pre-connected. Similar to how we have the current truck set. It's already pre-connected. We just pull the hose off and we go to 5. Those were the things that were missed on. And I do apologize. We should have reviewed that in depth a little.
Always it still fits in the gas station.
If we still have a gas station standing. Anyway, along those lines, like I said, I've missed a few meetings. I've read the newspaper, I've watched the meetings and everything, and I know the streetlights in Iowa are the hottest topic in town. Now, in the fire department's budget is $150,000 for an additional, or for a building addition this year. Now, the fire department has done some soul searching and what would be best for the community, the commission, the city, that we would like to move to have $70,000 of that moved back out of our budget towards the streetlights, if the commission needs that money. We currently have two stations. They're covered, they're out of the weather. Well, I'd love to have a building addition, but safety, building addition.
My budget for summer here is,
You can't move money between budgets like that. You'd like me to.
We as a fire department have offered that money up. I've talked to Brad Scott and asked him if he could use $70,000 for the street lights, and he said it would be welcome. But if we can't move it between the fire to the street lights, that's fine. I'll keep the extra $70,000.
It's okay. I can look into seeing if it's okay to pay invoices. I don't know, that'll have to ask the auditors on that, but yeah, you can't cross funds.
I just, I mean, it's in my mind, it's.
No,
tax
that's good.
dollars.
right.
No, that's good.
And that's where the fire department was coming from,
Oh,
safety. for-
No, and I appreciate that. I mean, I said, we just want to make sure everything we do is to the
Absolutely.
guys of what we can do, but no, that's very generous.
You could donate it to me and then I'll donate it.
If it's going anywhere, I'll take the tax write off.
But whether it works, whether it doesn't. But thank you.
You're welcome. So, but that was a fire department decision and wanted to present that to you folks tonight, so.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Sorry, I just took up the last 30 minutes of your meeting, so thank you.
All right,
Fine, thank you.
is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Under the second, Dawn?
All there,
All right,
Aye.
all opposed?
motion passed 5-0.